Newsline, I'm Kaneko Sakno. The commanding officer of the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force says a committee will be set up to investigate the fatal crash of 2 patrol helicopters. Saturday's accident off the Izu Islands in the Pacific Ocean left 1 person dead and 7 missing.
I apologize from the bottom of my heart and offer my sincere condolences for the death of the crew member. We have found pieces of the blades and helicopter parts, as well as several helmets.
Sakai pledged to accelerate the search for the missing people. He said 2 flight recorders recovered from the crash site will be analysed by experts. The Defence Ministry says the recorders were found close to each other, suggesting the helicopters probably collided in mid-air. Sakai said he's instructed MSDF personnel to carefully check altitude and distance during flight training. The U.S. House of Representatives has passed a bill to provide more than $26 billion of emergency aid to Israel.
On this vote, the ayes are 366 and the nays are 58. The bill is passed.
The bill passed with broad bipartisan support on Saturday. The House had earlier approved additional military aid for Ukraine. The funding will reportedly be used to strengthen Israel's air defenses and expand its ammunition production capacity, as well as for humanitarian aid. President Joe Biden will sign it into law after the Senate passes it. U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin says the legislation will allow his department to support Israel's defense against Iran and its proxies. Iran launched missile and drone attacks on Israel last weekend. The Israeli military said it intercepted most of them. The Lebanon-based Shia militant group Hezbollah also attacked Israel. Even though Israel has been criticized in the U.S. over the rising civilian death toll in the Gaza Strip, lawmakers have been calling for immediate aid for the country. The U.S. State Department has announced that Secretary of State Antony Blinken will visit China from Wednesday to Friday. The situation in Taiwan will be high on the agenda. A senior State Department official says Blinken will travel to Shanghai and Beijing and meet for talks with Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi and others. Ahead of the inauguration next month of Lai Ching-te as Taiwan's president, the officials are expected to discuss the situation surrounding Taiwan. The State Department official says Blinken will convey a message to Beijing that all countries should contribute to peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait. Blinken will also urge Beijing to avoid any action that could escalate tensions at a critical and sensitive time around the inauguration ceremony on May 20th. He's also expected to exchange views with Chinese officials on the South China Sea, where Beijing is ramping up maritime activities, as well as North Korea. This will be Blinken's first trip to China since June last year. Thousands of people paraded through central Tokyo on Sunday in one of Japan's largest LGBTQ events. A number of local governments have started issuing certificates for same-sex couples that recognize their partnership as equivalent to marriage in certain aspects. At national level, a law that seeks to promote understanding of the LGBTQ community took effect last year. But the organizers say further steps are needed to create a more diverse society.
Awareness of LGBTQ+ is really increasing, and it's reaching the point of common sense. But there has been little progress with legislation. Japan needs to steadily achieve 3 things: equality in marriage, an anti-discrimination law, and the easing of requirements for transgender change.
About 15,000 people are said to have taken part in Sunday's parade. A Japanese junior high school student has won a top prize at one of the world's foremost competitions for young ballet performers. The result. This episode features Inaka-san doesn't want to go to the office. Work lifestyles have been changing in Japan since remote work became the norm due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The author, Akino Kairuko, excels at novels about work, drawing on her own experiences working at an office. She depicts an office worker in new circumstances at work. The protagonist of this story is a proud middle-aged businessman who could be found at any company.